Alright, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TEW Local to Global 1987. We're back with some GCW, and the final episode before the new year, 2023, coming soon. So for this episode... Oh, the wrestling industry is rising, I just noticed that. That's great. That's actually really good news. If it doesn't turn back around, that means we're going to be able to get to Cope before the end of 1994. That's great. Alright, sorry about that pause. We're back. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that the industry is rising. And before y'all call me a cheater, I actually don't have influence on the industry and everything like that. You don't really control it. The only way I could have done anything is if I went into the narratives and changed one of the narratives, but I don't really mess with the narratives that much. I don't really like that. But let's get straight into it. Shane Douglas promo, so he accepted Rhodes' condition. So we're going to have Dustin Rhodes cut a response promo on Shane Douglas wanting the 10 lashes. I'm not going to do a review of last episode because the episode came out yesterday. So I don't think I need to do a review on what happened. So what else happened? I probably should have done one because I don't remember anything. Johnny Ace defeated Raven, so we're going to have Sting have a warm-up match as well. Because Johnny Ace got one, and Sting kind of deserves one as well. So Sting will get a warm-up match. It's going to be a non-title match against Kama Mustafa. We can make it 10 minutes. Why not? Let's see what Kama can do. Sting will be getting the victory. It's going to be open, decisive. Yeah, that's fine. Who do we have that's local? I want to try to use somebody. I want to see who's available as a wrestler. Baron Von Raschke, wrestler during the AWA mid-80s. I've used him in my AWA saves on my free time. Bobby Duncombe Jr., son of Bobby Duncombe, the Batten twins. I don't really know a lot about Lucha Libre, so I wouldn't know a lot about him. The Nasty Boys. I don't know if Jerry Sags is here. I don't think so. Brian Knobbs, Chris Youngblood, Eric Watts, Jeff Sword, who is actually who's Jeff Sword again? Isn't he one of the? Who the hell is Jeff Sword? I swear I know him from somewhere. I swear. I'm gonna have to check it in between the pauses for a simulation, because that's just gonna bother me for the rest of the day. Kid Cash, John Bradshaw Layfield, probably the biggest asshole in the wrestling industry. Wow, that's a bit harsh. But he is kind of a bully backstage, I've heard. So next we got to do the Taz, Jerry Lynn, and Jesse Ventura thing, where Ventura accepted Taz's request for the match. So we're going to have Taz get a backstage promo on Jerry Lynn and Jesse Ventura. I'm going to put him on Menace. Taz backstage promo on Ventura. If I can spell Ventura and Lynn. Okay, that's going to go right there. We got to do Harlem Heat versus the Hollywood Blondes. For that, we're going to have a promo with Harlem Heat, Booker T, and Stevie Ray. Stunning Steve Austin and Brian Pillman will be coming out. So we're going to do Harlem Heat, call out the Hollywood Blondes. That can go around 8 minutes. That can go right there. And we're going to put Harlem Heat in a match because I don't want them to just come out for no reason. I want them to have a little bit of a match before. So the right team, Alex Wright and Steve Wright. Sure, why not? 7 minutes with Booker T going over. Alright, we got to do Chavo Eddie. Eddie's going to cut a backstage promo on Chavo Guerrero and Big John. On Chavo and Big John. if I didn't already do that. He did. Shit. Alright, well, instead I'm just going to have a match. Instead I'm just going to have Eddie Guerrero in a match. Cruiserweight title not on the line, and he's going to face off against Steve Blackman. I think I've already done that. Let's do the Diamond Shinobi. I've done Al Snow. Well, who's Al Snow? This is the Diamond Shinobi. They're not the same person at all. And I'm pretty sure Diamond Shinobi qualifies for the Cruiserweight Championship. No, middleweight, he doesn't. Okay, then it's fine. So, in the match, we're going to have a distraction on Eddie from Big John, and Chavo will be joining Jim Ross and Jesse Ventura on commentary. Okay, that's going to take care of all of our storylines. Now let's just fill in some matches. So we want a mid-card level match with Rob Van Dam. He's going to face off against Major Stash. Why not? See what Major Stash can do. Van Hammer. We're going to do another match. We're going to do... Of course, we got to get Disco in there. I know everybody loves Disco Inferno. Everybody loves the Disco. And he's going to take on... No, not General Riggs. He's going to take on... Haven't used Hunter in a bit. Let's do Disco versus Hunter. With Hunter Hearst Helmsley getting jobbed out by Disco... No, I'm just kidding. Hunter is going to get the victory. It's going to be tainted. It's going to be a flash pinfall, but he's going to be getting the victory. He's going to open the show. Let's do one more match on this card. Let's see if I can fit it in somewhere. The 1-2-3 Kid versus... I haven't done Kensuke Sasaki. I don't really have a storyline for him right now. That sucks, because he's the Intercontinental Champion. Well, I guess we're just going to do 1-2-3 Candido, with Chris Candido getting the victory. Now we need another angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Chris Candido. He's going to challenge Kensuke Sasaki to a rematch at Championship Wrestling 166. Why not? Why not? I don't really have a challenger for him right now, so why not do Candido? I just realized I opened up with a backstage promo, but that's fine. So Dustin Rhodes is backstage. He says there's no problem. He'll take the 10 lashes. He's not afraid of Shane Douglas and his weak little lashes. So Rhodes has no problem going to the ring at Championship Wrestling 166, taking off his top and receiving 10 belt lashes right to the back to get his hands on Shane Douglas, a 66. Disco versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and Disco Inferno again pulling out some fantastic numbers. Great in the ring. Disco Inferno, future world champion for sure. Hunter Hearst Helmsley defeats Disco in 10:03 by pinfall using the ropes for leverage, a 54. Eddie Guerrero gets a victory over Diamond Shinobi in 9:43 by pinfall with a frog splash. During the match, we also had Big John distract Eddie. Eddie got a 69, Diamond Shinobi got a 57. Taz is backstage. He's cutting a promo on Jesse Ventura and Jerry Lynn, how there's no way that Jerry Lynn can survive Taz at Championship Wrestling 166, since Jesse Ventura will not be able to interfere in the match. Jerry Lynn will be destroyed. 1-2-3 Kid versus Chris Candido. Chris Candido gets the victory over the 1-2-3 Kid, Sean Waltman, in 7:46 by pinfall with a blonde bombshell. 1-2-3 Kid with a 61, and Candido with a 59, a 67. Candido grabs a mic after the match. He says he is the best Intercontinental Champion that GCW has ever had the privilege of crowning. Therefore, he wants a rematch against Kensuke Sasaki one last time at Championship Wrestling 166. Let's see what Sasaki has to say about that. The answer is not much. I'm just going to book the match. I don't really have any plans to have Sasaki speak much, because I don't think he speaks English. RVD defeats Major Stash in 6:07 by pinfall with a frog splash. RVD with a 49, Major Stash with a 22. They don't seem to click, which is sad. A 44. Harlem Heat get the victory over the Right Team in 6:51 when Booker defeated Steve Wright by pinfall with a spinebuster and Harlem's sidekick combo. Booker T carried the match, Stevie Ray with a 52, Booker T with a 68, Steve Wright with a 54, and Alex Wright with a 49, a 65. After the match, Harlem Heat grab microphones and they call out the Hollywood Blondes. The Blondes come out and Harlem Heat have a challenge for the Hollywood Blondes. Next week, it's going to be Booker T versus a member of the Hollywood Blondes of their choosing. Stevie Ray will sit back and not do much in that match. So Booker T versus a member of the Hollywood Blondes next week. Is it going to be Austin or is it going to be Pillman? We're going to have to find out. And in the main event, Sting gets his warm-up match against Kama Mustafa as he's looking forward to a match against Johnny Ace at Championship Wrestling 166. A decent match, 82. 85 for Sting, 45 for Kama. And that's how we end the show with a 75. Improving our popularity in 7 regions as usual. We're at the top, as always. And Bob Backlund is not happy because he had to lose to Sting. Imagine losing to the world champion of a company and being upset about it. Unbelievable. So who did... Jeff Sword, right? Who is Jeff Sword? Alright, I'm going to check who he was, because I know him from somewhere. So I'm going to check who he was, and then we're going to get straight into the next show of today's episode, Saturday Night's Wrestling, right now. Alright, second show of today's episode, let's get straight to it. Mid-South we go. And it looks like Jeff Sword I actually confused with, I think it's Thrasher, with Glenn Ruth. But Jeff Sword did have a few enhancement talent matches, jobber matches, as a part of the WWF and WCW during the early 1990s, 91, 92, around those times. So, for this episode, we got to do the main event of Booker T versus a member of Harlem Heat. So, Booker T will be facing off against, is it Brian Pillman? Or is it Stunning Steve Austin? Pillman being an upper mid-carder really scares me, that he dropped down to upper mid-carder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Brian Pillman in the match, and I'm going to have him win. Trying to get him back up. Okay, that takes care of the tag team storyline. Now we got to do Chavo Eddie. So for that, we're going to do Eddie Guerrero in a match, once again. It's going to be against Fit Finlay now in lower mid-carder. That's nice. It's going to be facing off against Jesse James. Why not? And Eddie Guerrero will be getting the victory. After that, we're going to have Chavo and Big John beat down Eddie Guerrero. Chavo and Big John beat down Eddie. Okay, that can go there. Alright, now we got to do the Taz, Jerry Lynn, Jesse Ventura. So we're going to have Jesse Ventura backstage with Jerry Lynn. Ventura is giving advice to Jerry Lynn. Okay. And now we got to do Johnny Ace Sting. So we're going to have Johnny Ace cut a backstage promo. Johnny Ace backstage promo. That can go right there. And now we got to do Sting, not Sting, Dustin Rhodes, Shane Douglas. So for that, I'm going to have Dustin Rhodes in a match against Steve Blackman. That can go around 7 minutes. Dustin Rhodes will be getting the victory. After that match, we're going to have Shane Douglas come out. Douglas comes out to add a stipulation to the whips. Okay, now we gotta fill in some matches. So we're gonna do Lance Storm in a match. Lance Storm really fell off, didn't he? Didn't really fall off. Stopped using him as a main eventer because of all the new talent we got. Like, awesome. Let's do Ahmed Johnson. Ahmed Johnson versus Mo. You can go right there. Now we're going to do one more match. We're going to do Aldo Montoya. Oh no, Disco's a lower mid-carder now. We got to get him a win. We got to get him a win. He can't go lower than mid-carder. So we got to give him a win over Diesel. Definitely got a win over Diesel. No, he's going to get a victory over Kama. We're pushing Disco, okay? Disco is the greatest wrestler to have ever lived. And that's never going to change. 8 minutes for Disco. Okay, not much to say about Ahmed. Mo, just trying to get Ahmed over. Eddie gets a victory over Jesse James. Again, not much to say, just a nothing match. But afterwards, there's where we have the storyline. Big John and Chavo Guerrero come out, and they beat down Eddie Guerrero. Don't forget, this Sunday, Eddie faces off against Big John in a match, just a regular match. Not much to say, just Eddie versus the Big John. That's it. Disco gets a pinfall victory over Kama Mustafa in 7:52. Disco seemed off his game. Yeah, if he was on his game, he wouldn't have gotten a 27. He probably would have gotten like a 97 or something. Sometimes, I don't know what happens. 46 for Kama. 43 overall. Jesse Ventura is giving advice to Jerry Lynn ahead of Jerry Lynn's match against Taz, which is a submission match this Sunday. Lance Storm goes over on Raven, arguably 2 stars that are maybe underused in GCW. Lance Storm and Raven. Very sad, but I don't really have plans for them. Not right now, anyway. 69. Johnny Ace is backstage. He's talking about how this is his moment to be world champion. He's going to take down Sting. He's going to be the new GCW world champion and WWE world champion this Sunday. Dustin Rhodes gets a quick victory over Steve Blackman in 7:29. Again, not much to say. After the match, though, Shane Douglas, the leader of franchise, comes out, and he says that, Dustin, there's an extra stipulation added to the whippings you're going to take this Sunday. During the whippings, you cannot lay a finger on me. You cannot touch me at all. You can't fight back. You just have to sit there and be beaten down like you're a good-for-nothing piece of crap. And Dustin Rhodes agrees because he really wants to get his hands on Shane Douglas in a match in the future. 71. And the main event, Booker T loses to Brian Pillman in 15-10 by pinfall with a leaping thrusting lariat. Booker T with a 68, Pillman with a 73, a 74, 10 the show with a 76, improving our popularity once again in 7 regions. Top of the card, top of the things, once again, Jerry Lawler is gone from CSW. Okay. And we're making money in the Mid-South. That's great. We're at 40 importance, 40 popularity. Slowly getting up there. We have to hit, I think it's 47 importance, and then we can hit cult. So at the rate we're going, we're gaining maybe, I'll say 1.5 importance a month. So we're at 40. So next month we're going to be maybe at 41, 42. In September we're going to be at 43, 44. In October 45, let's say. November 46. So maybe right after Revolution, January 95, we should be hitting cult if everything goes to plan. Maybe a bit sooner, because now we're hosting all of our shows in the Mid-South instead of just Mid-South Invasion. Because I'm pretty sure before I did... Oh no, maybe I did all of Mid-South. Okay. Okay, then in that case, yeah, it's not going to go much faster. But let's remember that the wrestling industry, the higher it goes, the more popularity and the more importance we're going to get in a region. So hopefully that'll come pretty soon. Alright, that's enough technicalities. Let's go into GCW Championship Wrestling 166 right now. We're just going to see the results. As always, let's go. Alright, we're here at Championship Wrestling 166, the final show, the final episode of 2022. Let's get straight to it. So Taz comes out to open the show. He's cutting a promo as Jesse Ventura and Jim Ross are getting locked in the shark cage around the announcer's table. Just shitting on him. Not much to say as we open up with Taz versus Jerry Lynn for the FTW Championship in a submission match. Right now, let's see what it got. Hello? There you go. Fantastic heat, great wrestling. Taz defeats Jerry Lynn 2026 by submission. Taz, once again, the FTW champion. Taz got a 65, Jerry Lynn with a 74. However, after the match, Taz keeps the Taz mission locked in on Jerry Lynn, and Lynn is out. He's unconscious, so security makes their way down, trying to break it up, and they finally do. Taz finally calms down, gets out Jerry Lynn, and poses with the FTW Championship, holding it high, as Jesse Ventura is let out of the shark cage to check on Jerry Lynn. But as he's checking on Jerry Lynn, Taz comes up from behind Ventura and locks him into the Taz mission, keeps it locked in for around 2 minutes. Jesse Ventura passes out and is helped to the back as Taz makes his exit through the crowd. 96, after the match, Jim Cornette comes out and he takes Ventura's place at the commentary desk since Jesse Ventura is now unable to continue his duties for the time being, so Jim Cornette will be taking his place for the next few matches. Next up is Big John versus Eddie Guerrero. Fantastic heat, decent wrestling. Eddie Guerrero defeats Big John in 7:48 by pinfall with a frog splash. Big John was really off his game. He was furious at losing to Eddie for some reason. Big John with a 36, Eddie with a 74. Gets a 67. Next up, we've got the Tag Team Championship match, I think. Oh, I forgot to book the Kensuke Sasaki Chris Candido match. That's what I forgot. Damn it. Alright, you know what? It's fine. We'll book it on Saturday Night's Wrestling. And let me just make a mental note of that. Let me just put that down here. Kensuke Sasaki versus... Let's just do a pre-booking. Probably going to be easier. So, Saturday Night's Wrestling. We're going to do Chris Candido. Where's Chris Candido? Versus Kensuke Sasaki, who is now a mid-carder. That's nice. What do I have here? Dustin Rhodes Sting. I don't know why I have that there. Alright, 67. Next up, we've got Harlem Heat versus the Hollywood Blondes. An exceptional match. Harlem Heat go over on the Hollywood Blondes in 2014 when Booker T defeats stunning Steve Austin by pinfall with a quick cradle. During the match, what caused Harlem Heat to get the victory? The Hollywood Blondes had a miscommunication that ended with stunning Steve Austin striking Brian Pillman accidentally, which caused him to get rolled up. So a miscommunication on the part of the Hollywood Blondes result in Harlem Heat winning their fourth maybe fifth, I don't know. I'll have to check. 76 for Stevie Ray. Booker T with an 84 while being off his game. Booker T is going to be a star in GCW. There's no doubt about that. Stunning Steve Austin with a 91 and Pillman with the performance of the match with a 93. An 83 to end this matchup. Next, we've got the 10 Lashes. Shane Douglas, Dustin Rhodes in the ring. Shane Douglas whips Dustin in the back 10 times with a belt. Takes his time. Makes sure to relish in the pain that Dustin Rhodes is taking. And to the point where Jesse Ventura comes out. Finally better from the Taz attack. Taz attack, that's a nice name for a move or something. And he's checking on Dustin Rhodes, making sure he's okay. But Shane Douglas tells him to back off as he whips Dustin one more time. But Dustin doesn't give up. He eventually gets to the 10, through the 10 lashes. And Shane Douglas actually hits an 11th lash on Dustin before running away to the back. So Dustin now gets a championship, just a match. He gets a match against Shane Douglas at any time. But he has to warn him in advance. He has to say when the match is going to be, but he gets a match against Shane Douglas in the foreseeable future. A 97, as now we have the main event, Sting versus Johnny Ace. Gets a 93, exceptional match. Sting defeats Johnny Ace in 26-24 by submission with a Scorpion Deathlock. Sting makes defense number 9 of the WWA World Heavyweight Championship and defense number 7 of the GCW World Championship. Sting with a 95, Johnny Ace with an 86, ends the show with a 93, and a 91 for the show overall. Let's tell Sting he did a good job, let's tell Brian Pillman, and let's tell Stunning Steve Austin. There you go. See where we're at. We actually scored worse than King of the Ring. That's surprising. Championship Wrestling is now a historic event, which means we're going to get ticket boosts for anytime we have a Championship Wrestling show. The next one will be, well, August is taken, so I think it's September. Yeah, September. So the next Championship Wrestling will be in September. Historic just means we're going to have ticket boosts. And Revolution is just an above average, which, understandable. You know, we've had more Championship Wrestlings than Revolutions. We're just going to have a great show at Revolution to boost that. $145,000 profit. That's a great profit margin. 41 popularity in the Mid-South. The Summer Series tournament is being held this month. Let's see what we got here. Two-time FTW champion Taz. Still the Cruiserweight champion Eddie Guerrero. Kensuke Sasaki's got to defend against Chris Candido at Saturday Night Wrestling next episode. Sting still the world champion, and Harlem Heat now the first ever 4-time World Tag Team Champions. Thank you guys for watching this episode of GCW. Make sure to like if you like this video, subscribe if you want more, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.